Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to my channel, Joey Barnett TV. I've got quite a few bits to touch on today. First of all, before I start this podcast off, I'd like to say I've had a virus for around 4 days now. I contracted it. It's not a virus; it's the flu. As you can hear it in my throat, it's an infection, and basically it hits your chest, your throat, gives you severe headaches, temperature, um, really bad fever. And I haven't had the flu like this for a good part of 20 odd years, because when you're in jail for all them years, you build up an immune system because you're all living under the same roof. You build up an immune system, and you just don't get it because, at the end of the day, in jail, you're living with like 200 other inmates from the same wing. And yeah, your immune system really builds up. But I've been out now since 2010, so my immune system's gone. But that was the last time that I actually had anything, and it's my missus first caught it last week. She was very bad, the same, in bed for a few days in a very bad way, hallucinating, very high temperature. And then, yeah, I caught it a few days later, and I'm on the back end of it now. I think I'm on my fourth day. But yeah, running up towards Christmas, I can't. It's a bit of a pain in the backside because I'm not able to visit any of my family because I wouldn't want to give this to none of my family on top of Christmas. So yeah, hopefully it'll be gone by tomorrow or the next day um, at its worst. But yeah, guys, hope everyone's doing well. I have, or my missus just did give me a COVID test just now, just to make sure I didn't have COVID because of we've got my missus's daughter Amy up for this Christmas, and she comes up tomorrow, which is nice. And yeah, I'd like to touch on other few bits along the way, but I'm not going to be I'm not going to be a hypocrite because I did put something on my community post the other day about I'm not a religious person and I don't really celebrate Christmas. To be honest with you guys, I've got to apologise to all of you because of I was having a bad day, like we all do have bad days. But when I have bad days, unlike many others, I don't bottle it up. I air it and maybe channel it in the wrong ways. It's something what I need to work on. But I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. So yeah, it was my mistake. But yeah, I do enjoy Christmas, especially family and things like that. I mean, it was great when I was a kid, but I spent decades in jail, and I spent a whole decade in one sentence in jail. So I missed like 9 Christmases out. So yeah, you just learn to cope with it and deal with it. And where I was institutionalised back in the day, I had to look at Christmas Day like it was just another day because otherwise it would have just, ate me up from the inside outwards in jail. And that's not what you want. So you've got to build a barrier up and put a mask on and get on with it. But yeah, I've been out for 10 years now, and yeah, I mean, I do celebrate Christmas, I suppose, up to a certain extent. As you can see, I've got the tree in the background. We've got loads of presents under the tree. I've got a very big family. We all buy for each other, and things like that. So when I said I don't like Christmas, what I meant was I don't like I don't like the stress. I don't like the shops. I don't like the panic. I don't like the worry of it because it is a worry. Have I got this, and do I need this, and just last minute things. And in relationships, to be honest with you, it can cause arguments, Christmas, because there's so much tension flying about and there's so much stress in the same house. It can cause arguments. That hasn't been the case for me and Sam. We haven't had an argument, but like not recently, but yeah, we do have arguments like every other couple. I mean, I don't know any relationships that don't argue, and if there is such thing as a relationship where you don't argue, um, it don't sound right. And to be honest with you, you'll probably find out that they won't stay together because you can't bottle things up, especially in a relationship. You've got to be versatile. You've got to know each other's feelings, each other's thoughts, and you've got to share each other's feelings and thoughts and give respect to each other and things like that. And I've got that in abundance, man. I ain't got no money, to be honest with you. I haven't got no job. I haven't got no regular income, but I've got a roof over my head. I've got food in the cupboard. I've got family. I've got love. I've got everything around me. So at the end of the day, you know, that's the main thing what matters to me. And I've got obviously my motocross bike, which I love with a passion, and that took me a good few years to save up to be able to buy that. And how I've done that was by writing my first book and publishing it all on my own, which took me a good part of 4 or 5 years to do. And yeah, but when it comes to that subject, my second book is still on the go. It's 40,000 words in. It's going to be finished on like 55, 60,000 words, but there's no time scale on when it's going to be finished. This is why a lot of even the best-selling authors only produce one book every few years, because they're not something what you can do overnight, guys. But yeah, we're 6 minutes in now, and I hope you all enjoy my content, and I hope every single one of my followers is in a very good place. I hope you're all in the best of moods, and I hope you all have such a really nice Christmas. But I'm going to open this podcast up, and I'm going to be talking about screws now, or prison officers, or however you want to address them. I address them by screws because that's what they've always been to me. And there's always been a divide between inmates and screws, and as far as I'm concerned, and you know, if you spotted inmates or you talking to screws for a certain amount of time, you looked at that inmate like he was a wrong un. So there was always a divide between inmates. Now, this brings me on to the subject of what I'm going to be talking about, and thank you to one of my followers for reminding me to make this story and make this video about this this incident, because yeah, there was a screw in Belmarsh in 1999. I'm not going to mention no names because of I don't know any legal actions that are going against me or anything like that, or copyright strikes or crap like that against me. You know what it's like, the rules and regulations of the day. But there was a screw in there, and it basically fallen out with an inmate. So they had an argument, and they just did not like each other. But everyone knew this inmate. He wasn't an armed robber like I was. He wasn't a chap. He was just, he was doing 3 years of carpet for saying, for a burglary or something like that. Waiting to get shipped out. He was a live wire. He was leery. He liked to fight. He didn't have nothing to lose because he's only doing 3 years, and he could lose every day of that 3 years and still get out 3 years later. It's not a long time, is it? So, yeah. He fell out of this screw. I'll call this screw Mr. Wilson. Let's say S.O. Wilson of House Block 4 in Belmarsh of 1999. And Mr. Wilson, this S.O., put it about to everyone on the wing that this inmate, was in jail for crimes what I don't even want to mention on it, for being a speedo. I don't want to mention the word, but it said that his crimes were against children, and that's the worst despicable crime. I don't even like talking. It makes my blood boil just thinking about it. But this is what this screw, Mr. Wilson, had put about this inmate, that he was in there for rape, of children. Now, this inmate got slashed down the face and had to go outside hospital to have his face stitched up. A few days later, he came back on the wing, and he got told that it was this certain screw that had put the rumour about that he was in for this crime, what he'd got slashed for. It turned out he wasn't no speedo. He was only doing a 3-year sentence, as I said, for a burglary. But because this screw had fallen out of him in jail, he'd purposely put it about that the inmate was in for this crime, and he got the inmate slashed to bits. Now, guys, that is straight from the horse's mouth. That's not fabricated. There's no lies. That's, straight how I see it. So, yeah, thanks to my follower for letting me, for reminding me to tell that story. Just goes to show you, you can never, ever, 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 in any circumstances, trust a screw. At the end of the day, there's always a divide between inmates and screws. And yeah, there is certain screws in the system what are still in the system today, what are classed as old school, and you know you can't fully trust them, but I suppose you could trust them up to an extent of they would tell you who the speedos were on the wing. So this brings me on to the next subject, what I want to talk about, and it's called the hit list. Now, there's quite a few of us in Belmarsh what have actually got YouTube platforms and on YouTube. I'm not going to mention no names because I haven't spoken to them about this, but yeah, the story, this will probably make a few of my old school pals laugh. But yeah, there was a hit list flying about in Belmarsh in 1999. Does that bring back bells, guys? Does that bring back memories, guys? It does for me. Puts a smile on my face. Well, there was a screw in Belmarsh, and he had printed off a few inmates' convictions. The inmates was in jail for being speedos. This was called the hit list. This copy of the printout got given to an inmate, and within 10 minutes of it landing on the wing, every single inmate on the wing knew like who was in for what and where the speedos were and things like that. It was called a hit list, and yeah, quite a few people acted out on that hit list. Allegedly, it was me that acted out on one of them. I'm not going to go into it too far because I'm going to do a part 2 on this, but yeah, guys, this is what I'm saying to you. There is screws in the system that do leak information, and that are human beings, by the way. You know, at the end of the day, they're going home to their missus, you know, and they're human beings, and at the end of the day, they don't like the beast neither, just like we don't like the beast. So rightly so that it does get leaked. It definitely does get leaked. And yeah, guys, I'm going to finish up here. So I hope you all enjoy my content. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of this because it was alleged that I attacked one of these inmates that was on the hit list in Belmarsh. I got pulled in for it along with one of my other pals. We got put under investigation, put down a segregation unit for 5 weeks, waiting for the police to come in to take statements and to question us over this alleged attack. The guy ended up having to be put into a seduced coma because he was pissing his own blood, basically, and it was a big investigation. But I'll do a part 2 on this. I might come back in later on, actually, but yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. You can hear my throat, like I don't sound too good, but where I haven't uploaded much content over the last few days, I just thought that my followers deserved this, and I'd like to give every single one of my followers a big shout. Thank you for all your positive comments, all your positive feedback, and it's you guys that inspires me to push more content. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.